campus is closed. The walkways, the library, the Russell Union, the classrooms, all empty. It's been a difficult time and an unprecedented moment in history. Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Eagle News. I'm Jordan Lynch. With the cancellation of all physical classes for the rest of the semester, most places on campus have closed down for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, even though classes have resumed online, the Bullitt County Commissioners have approved of a curfew to have residents inside their homes between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. The COVID-19 pandemic has swept the nation and changed everything, including the future of students. The NCAA has put in another year of eligibility for spring sport athletes, while also the University System of Georgia has removed the ACT and SAT test scores as a requirement for first-year students this upcoming summer and fall. We have a new segment on Eagle News, Question Time. It's a platform to ask all the questions you want to the people who can answer them. You might have a lot of questions about how Georgia Southern is handling the pandemic and what students should expect for the future. I spoke with Dr. Pamela Borland Davis, the chair of the Communication Arts Department. She's our first guest on Question Time.
I think the first thing that all of the faculty tried to do is reach out to students, and they conducted a survey to see where the students were. Once they were able to see where the students were in terms of access, they're working on how they adjust their programs. We've also had a number of faculty put together excellent resource pages for students. So it's everything from how to access technology to how to get certain programs, and all of those things are working for the students. So as an example, the Converged Journalism program, they're shooting some of their stories on cell phones. We're having to adapt, but that's perfect because when things go crazy in the world, all of us have to be able to adapt. And I think back to Katrina. We didn't have nearly as many blogs before Katrina as we had afterwards, when journalists who couldn't go to press were actually reporting on what they were able to report on via their own personal blog pages or news site web pages. Every time we have something like this, things change, and so it's good to be part of it and not get behind it. Right now, we're still good for moving forward with summer, and to be honest, 90%, 85% of our classes are already online. So if anything, we're just going to have to monitor how things are going with the response. If the distancing works really well, then we may be back in classes by mid-May. If it doesn't, then we'll have to reassess before then, of course, to see where we are. But again, most of our classes are already online, so I think we're okay in that. So public speaking is one of the courses we have intentionally said we do not want to teach this in an online format. So that's the first issue. Other schools do teach it in that sense. The question is, does it become audience-driven, or is it more a speech writing class? And those are two very different approaches. So what faculty are now doing is looking at having a balance. So there are things you can do. Students can present via Zoom. We can also have subgroups, and they present to smaller groups. We have to be careful because obviously they can't invite their 12 best friends over to their home to be able to give the presentation to. So we look and see where we are. But most classes had student learning objectives. All of our classes have student learning outcomes. And the truth of the matter is, in public speaking for this term, everybody has already done at least 3 speeches in that particular format. So faculty are being asked to look at where their class was in their outcomes. Have we already met these? What else do we need to do, and how can we do it in this particular format? It's hard to say yet what that might be. There may be some faculty who did not want to go online, who are perfectly fine going online. On the other hand, there are some who didn't want to and are going to say that this reaffirms my choice for not teaching online. I think in so many of our classes where we have like public speaking and performance and some of our news and film and production courses, it does make it more difficult. The truth of the matter is our public relations students, for the longest time, I've always said they should have 1 or 2 classes online. They're going to work for companies where they have to put adult education or workshops online. And so learning what worked well for them, I think, helps them create environments for the future. So I think there are a lot of benefits from this, but we may not know what all of those are for some time. So I think there are some detriments right now, but I saw somebody who is lending his voice to video that people have captured in their homes, and he's announcing it sportscast style. What if you had come up with that idea and that set a perfect stage for you to launch your career? So I think if you let it stymie you, it will. If you let it create a platform for your own creativity, it can. Take the journalism and sports production. How much of sports production is actually the setup? And if you consider that, doing a full-on production plan is something that you can certainly put in your portfolio. You could even record yourself if you wanted to be part of your reel, a demo reel that you show. So that could be something that you could do. If you're watching some of the old classics, I'm sure they're going to be classics, you're going to learn more about some of the people that you've vaguely heard of, but may not know as much. That may end up playing very well into your future in other ways. So I think, again, it's you can look for the opportunity, or you can look and say, it's all gone. And I would say look for the opportunities.
I hope everyone out there enjoys being inside their home, because it looks like we might just have to stay inside even longer. As we go to reporter Xavier Branch to discuss what it is like in his hometown of Gwinnett County.
The scene here in Gwinnett County is similar to most of the other counties who have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The county chairwoman signed an order to institute a local state of emergency, activating their emergency power and resources just 2 weeks ago. But last Friday, March 27th, the county chairwoman acted again by announcing a stay-at-home order that will be in effect until 11:59 on April 13th. The Gwinnett County Solicitor General's office has backed up this official order by stating that anyone that is caught will be charged with a misdemeanor and could receive a sentence of 60 days in jail or a fine of $1,000 upon their conviction. The stay-at-home order has been issued for residents to stay inside except to conduct essential business needed for their health and safety. All of the non-essential businesses have been forced to close in an attempt of reducing opportunities for the disease to spread. As of Tuesday night, March 31st, the total confirmed case count in the state of Georgia is 4,117. Gwinnett County accounts for 242 of those cases, placing them among the top 5 counties with the most reported cases. But the county of residence is still unknown in 183 cases in Georgia as more testing becomes available. Within the past 3 days, Gwinnett County has had almost 80 to 90 new cases, while also having 1 more death within that time period. Despite this only being the 2nd death in the county, the number of cases have continued to grow rapidly and are expected to continue at this rate, if not faster. I'm Xavier Branch, Eagle News.
Hopefully everybody in your area can continue to stay safe by staying inside your homes until the order has been lifted. With the United States leading the way in cases of COVID-19 worldwide, social distancing has become even more important today. Ashton Christensen is reporting from Saraland, Alabama about social distancing.
President Trump announced on Sunday that the social distancing protocols will continue on until the end of April. Most of us are already tired and bored of being cooped up in our houses for 2 weeks already, and are ready to get back to our old lives, like an incident that happened at the Henley properties on Sunday night. A large group of people were seen on the Henley property volleyball courts not participating in social distancing. Since the event, the Henley property has closed off the pool area in hopes of stopping more gatherings. Recreational Activity Center has also closed off its court after reported games being played there as well. A curfew is now being implemented and is going into effect at 10 p.m. into 6 a.m. in the Statesboro area. Here in Saraland, Alabama, where I am reporting from, People are still trying to find joy in some ways during this time of social distancing. A local musician, Johnny Hayes, was hired to play on the front porch of a house in Mobile on Catherine Street. People came to hear his small concert while still maintaining social distancing within the families and that came to listen. Having been there during the event, you could see joy was still being had and fun as well during this pandemic time. I'm Ashton Christensen reporting for Eagle News.
During this time, your mental health is important to maintain. And even though you cannot see your family and friends like you used to, FaceTime or call them with your cell phone to keep in contact. Reporter Noah Lambert gives his take on how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected him in his area.
Thank you for that, Jordan. This is Noah Lambert here with Eagle News. The coronavirus has, needless to say, shocked a lot of us here on Georgia Southern University's campus. A lot of us have had new online workloads that are either a lot worse or a lot better than what we were experiencing in class beforehand. Our daily lives have changed when trying to go to the store with the new toilet paper shortage and things like that. So reporting for what's currently happened for me, it's needless to say been quite a shock. I enjoy cooking a lot, and I've noticed that a lot of the things that I would normally cook and normally be able to go get from the store just aren't there anymore, as a lot of people are noticing that the food shortages are really becoming a reality for us. I need to say the biggest change for all of us is school starting back. The online workload is quite difficult. I'm personally not someone that learns very well by having large amounts of reading and having to get that ready for a quiz or a test. I'm much better at hearing it spoken to me in class. And so having to do a lot of these readings is definitely quite difficult, and I've heard other students report the same. I know that for a lot of us, we're just trying to stay safe and abide by social quarantining orders. I believe that we are currently about to be put on a shelter-in-place statement at the time of this recording. But it's definitely a big adjustment for a lot of us. We've never experienced anything like this. I know I haven't. And so just trying to maintain a good attitude, getting the schoolwork done, trying to stay healthy and stay safe, and trying to find new normals. It's definitely been a good adjustment for me, but I've definitely, there have been some pros and cons to this. I have enjoyed being able to spend more time cooking, more time with my dog and stuff like that. And hopefully as time continues, we'll be able to get back in school, because that means that hopefully people are doing better and are getting healthy now. So back to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Noah, for that update. Now, reporter Tori Pierce gives a glimpse on his situation in Atlanta since the pandemic has hit.
Greeting, my fellow Eagles. My name is Tori Pierce, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, to tell you about what's been going on from our neck of the woods. Basically, what we're going through is the same thing everybody else is going through. I'm currently located in the area like Stone Mountain, Latonia, and right now, I mean, it's not crazy, but our local stores have been, not ransacked, but they've been bought all the way up. Like almost everything you could think of has been bought. Toilet paper, like meat, like it's all gone. But, luckily, like my folks was able to get some. But I mean, in our household, I have a little sister who can't go to elementary school no more. I have me, who moved back from Statesboro, because like it's more safe or better for me to be at home, and you still have my mom, sadly, who still has to go to work. But we don't know how much longer that's going on, but that's what's going on in Atlanta. We're going through the same thing everybody else is going on, everybody else is going through. But I mean, we finna have to go on lockdown just like everybody else. So, we're gonna send it back to you guys at the borough. We may still be social distancing, but we still got to do our job, Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Tori, for that insight on how you're doing. We don't know what will happen next, but on behalf of the rest of Eagle News, we will be sure to update you on how everyone is handling the crisis. Meanwhile, be safe and feel free to contact us via our Facebook page, GSU Multimedia Journalism. We all want to get back to normal, but it may take a while. We leave you with the message from Georgia Southern's President Kyle Marrero that was sent out to all who live, work, and learn here at Georgia Southern.
Good morning, Georgia Southern, and welcome back. I wanted to take a minute to greet you on this first week of classes in our new fully online learning environment. It's hard to believe, but exactly 1 year ago, I started my first week as your president. And here we are now, together, forging through new challenges and opportunities. Well, this certainly has been an unprecedented time for Georgia Southern, for our region, the state, the country, and the world. We acknowledge the gravity of the situation while simultaneously know we must move forward with hope. We're not alone in adapting to this new journey of social distancing, teleworking, conference calls, constantly washing our hands and surfaces, helping with my daughter's homeschooling, and yes, even searching for toilet paper. Go figure. Well, as you can imagine, we've been navigating an ever-changing flood of information and taking measures to prioritize the safety of our students, our employees, and our communities, all while working quickly to adapt more than 5,000 classes entirely online for the remainder of the semester, all to arrive at this moment where we move forward with our spring semester of 2020. Students, you should know that we've worked endless hours for this day with every resource at our disposal. I'm so proud of how our faculty and staff have responded to this challenge. They have prepared meticulously to make sure the rest of the semester will provide you the kind of experience you've come to expect at Georgia Southern. Your success remains our utmost goal. And while we may not be in the same classroom or building right now, rest assured, we're in this together. As this COVID-19 pandemic has impacted our country, it's your response, the response of our students, faculty, staff, and community that has been nothing short of heroic. I'm so inspired by you, and I appreciate your willingness to confront these challenges in the Georgia Southern way. And that way is rolling up our sleeves, moving forward, and getting it done. So, as you resume your studies, remember there is a spectacular team here available to each one of you. Please reach out for help or with any questions. Eagle Nation may not all be physically gathered together on our campuses at this moment, but we are still connected. Connected to you and your success and our vision at Georgia Southern of people, purpose, action, growing ourselves to grow others. My friends, we will adapt and make it through all of this together because we are Georgia Southern strong. We will navigate all of this with courage and compassion. So for now, my instructions to you are GATA, which I'm pretty sure means get after those academics. So take care, my friends, and go Eagles.